So I'm going to answer the question, is God free to sin? But in order to answer it, I have to first unpack what we mean by free, because I would say the most common conception right now of what freedom is the ability to choose between two contraries. You can do this or you can do this. You could do the right thing or the wrong thing, or just whatever it is. And this is sometimes called freedom of indifference. I don't know who originally coined the term, but it's used in a book that I'm reading, which is Sources of Christian Ethics by Pink Hairs. Pretty long book. I'm almost done with it. It's very good. It's been making me think a lot. And one of the things he brought up is that concept of freedom came from nominalism, which is a movement basically saying that universal truths don't really exist. It's just a particular thing. So we're not looking for big picture rules. There's a lot of it, but its big impact on morality was basically we only care about individual acts. And also we've changed what freedom is. But it's just so common, so prevalent, trying to think of an alternative concept of freedom doesn't make much sense. Hence, you can, under nominalism, ask the question, is God free to sin? Because you'd say, well, if God can do anything, but God can't sin, he's not free. That's a constraint imposed on him. So there's a different concept of freedom. It's one that Thomas Aquinas used, the Church Fathers, and even the writers of the Bible viewed this. Freedom for excellence. As in, freedom exists so you can choose the good. Choosing evil is like a defect. It's not it's a mistake. And so I had trouble wrapping my head around this. But there were some analogies that were really helpful. So learning a language, learning an instrument, or being an Olympic athlete. He didn't use the Olympic athlete one in the book, but whatever. So when you train, when you practice, it might feel like it's an imposition, but if you haven't practiced, you're not actually free to play the piano. You can bang on the keys, but you're not free to play. Freedom only comes through that training, because freedom exists for the sake of excellence. So you could ask the question, is an all-star musician or an Olympic athlete or someone fluent in the language, are they free to make a mistake? And that question just doesn't make any sense. Why would the whole point of practicing is that you don't make mistakes, you don't make them as frequently. And so viewing freedom in that sense, asking is God free to sin, also makes zero sense at all, because that's a mistake. So there you go. So is God free to sin? No, because freedom is not of indifference kind, it's for excellence.